Right, Nintendo's coming for me.
Oh man, I was hoping that was for someone else and not me.
I don't like babies.
Everyone's like, but how do I headshot?
Guys, well, welcome back to the Quad Damage Podcast. I'm Midnight Medium, joined as ever by Deadforge and Robert. Well, today we're not talking not just Doom, but we're diving headfirst into the blood-soaked trenches of retro FPSs, game critique, and meme-fueled madness with 4 legends of the scene. Here to talk Doom and more is the gameplay purist and critical surgeon, whose breakdowns are sharper than a super shotgun blast. I give you Under the Mayo.
Oh man, I was hoping that was for someone else and not me. Oh man. I'm off to a terrible start.
I give you the Indie Evangelist, the Pixel Pilgrim. I give you Trav.
Oh my goodness.
And in this third corner, I give you the Lore Slinger, the Visual Alchemist whose edits are art and who turns chaos into commentary. I give you Hyacsho.
Wow.
And I guess Ruby Ranger is here too.
Yeah.
This is why you don't give me your login codes.
Who sent this guy the invite?
So you mofo.
Let's
get booming.
Let's get
booming.
booming.
Let's get booming.
Let's get booming.
Let's get booming.
I'm gonna
Like, how many
boom.
years
Yes.
it never stops.
Just to get things started off, as mentioned and advertised, we were going to talk a bit about the Doom 3 shotgun. So what I wanted to do first of all was just from left to right on what I see on the screen here, you got 1 minute. Just give me your take on the Doom 3 shotgun to open us out. Your hottest or coldest takes, or in Mayo's case, some sort of analytical breakdown that takes half an hour or something. Yeah. So
Doom 3 shotgun, you're out of luck.
It's gonna be me.
Deadforge, yeah, hit us. Thoughts on Doom 3
No,
shotgun?
I think I don't think it's that bad. I never have thought it was that bad. I think that at a distance it does like no damage because it's a shotgun, and up close I think it 9 times out of 10 does exactly what you want it to do. So I think that's just my take. I don't think it's like the worst shotgun in every video game ever made by any means. It's a little bit of a overstatement by a lot of people.
Yeah. Ruby, what about your take?
I'm not so lukewarm on the shotgun. I love the shotgun in Doom 3. I think it challenges the player because at that point in time, we were accustomed to shotguns that did damage from a distance, shotguns that were more precise. So the way that this one is presented, this is you into a situation where risk versus reward is the name of the game. So you have to get up close. And the spread of it, you could potentially turn a little to the left or the right and miss some pellets and some spray in there. But overall, if you are up close, if you're in melee distance, this thing is doing exactly what it says on the tin. I would probably put it in my top 3 Doom shotguns, simply for just the effectiveness and the power fantasy of it.
That's nice. Mayo, what about yourself?
Pass. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. I think I am going to get analytical on you. I'm sorry. I want to echo what these guys said, where its effectiveness is, close range compared to the original, Doom 1, Doom 2 regular shotgun, which could just like pick people off from across the room. But they're tonally very different games. Doom 3 is a lot more horror than it is, like crazy old school run and gun action. I mean, it's still, a run and gun shooter, but it's got the horror vibe, which makes the shotgun feel more like how you use a shotgun in a Resident Evil game. Even though it's not a survival horror game, you're using it essentially the same way. As long as you're up close, it gets the job done. So I don't think that its function is bad at all. But as a gun, I find shooting it to not be very satisfying. Despite it doing its job, I just find the gun itself to just not feel good to...
Yeah.
I don't know, there's like But I'm kind of that way about a lot of Doom 3 these days. A game that I like and respect, but I don't get a lot of satisfaction out of just the way it feels, and that kind of applies to the shotgun as well for me.
Yeah, I don't think it is the best feeling shotgun by any means. I think it, like you said, it serves its purpose, but I don't think it's like it doesn't feel meaty to use. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think that's my main thing about it.
Yeah, cool. My take, I guess. I'm here next on the list. I think in terms of
what's your opinion on it?
What's your opinion on the Doom 3 shotgun?
I'm going to splice that together.
Guys, wait a second. Robert, we just need to know.
What? The world is waiting.
Please tell us, Robert.
Robert, please. I think with the amount of tea and coffee that I drink, that my piss is probably more destructive than the Doom 3 shotgun. I think that I could probably do it further in reach than the Doom 3 shotgun as well.
Oh, goodness.
The problem with that shotgun, of course, is perfectly serviceable, like you've said. The problem is it's coming after the super shotgun. So it's always going to seem inferior. So that's my take. Yeah, so while I drink my tea here. Trav, you're next.
I think that it does exactly what it needed to do. It is not a good shotgun. It's not good at long range, but that's not the kind of game that they wanted to make. If they were at a long range, they wanted you to use the assault rifle. They want you to get up close, but melee is more risky. They want you to they're giving you a tool that will instantly kill an imp or a zombie or whatever, those little gargoyle, like, baby things, cherubs. I don't like babies. And so you go up there, and it gives you this thing. Yeah, it's going to spread. You're going to shoot it, and it's going to have one little pellet off to the side. Oh, you see my tattoo? I don't know if I showed you guys that.
Oh my God.
So one little pellet off to the side, and then you're like, oh, that's kind of bad, but then you get up close. That's the game they wanted to make. They split the function differently. It is different, and I think I hate it.
Cool. On that note, yeah, medium. What's your take?
Oh shit!
Despite being the biggest Doom 3 fanboy you'll probably ever run into, I'm mostly in its camp. I can see why people bounce off of it, but I do identify with that meme about it being like the best melee weapon in Doom. The idea is, just like Trav says, it's consistent with the game they want to make. So it's much like Doom Eternal getting you into the fun zone. Doom 3 is trying to get you in their face to incur problematic encounters. It's not sitting there letting you use a hunting rifle like you could in the first Doom. Obviously that's fun, and shotguns can shoot a lot farther than people think they can, but like it's super pronounced. It's like a very intentional game design, regardless of whether it's realistic or not. And that's why it works. I will give you the spread is a little bit curly-cued. It's kind of crazy. Is a little bit consistent. I've been replaying it all week in preparation for this to be like, make sure I'm not talking out my ass. It's perfect. Nothing's wrong with it. It's a little crazy, but it's also crazy to incentivize you to get up there and have more fun, get in the face of the enemy, and say, do or die. So yeah, I think it's more than serviceable, and it sounds great. That sound effect, that chambering, it's like you can just feel like metal grade ripping across metal when it happens. Yeah. It's like, ooh, okay.
It's not as good as putting the plasma gun in there, that kind of sort of sound that makes.
That's pretty
yeah. ASMR shit, I could just rub my nipples to that.
So fucking good.
Yeah, that suction thing.
Hyacsho. Yeah, hit us with the hot take.
Well, shit. I was expecting to have to argue with people today, but apparently not. Apparently we're all like against the same damn opinion. Yeah, Doom 3 shotgun was a horror shotgun that wanted you to feel scared instead of powerful, like it would have in previous games or actually games after it, right? So yeah, it did what it needed to do. It's also really good paperweight, and people hated it that much. They put the super shotgun in the DLC a little bit later as well to bring back that power fantasy, which I think kind of creates a contrast. Yeah, man, apparently we're all agreeing the same thing.
You ain't get anybody who hates this thing?
The other day. Well, no, dude, I had an argument the other day with somebody, and we brought you up, Ruby. I was just like, that's not fair.
I literally ended my thought saying I hate it.
It's true. Okay, so Trav.
Yeah, you see, this is the thing. This is the thing with the Doom 3 shotgun. I respect it. I know what it does. I know why it's there. I use it as little as possible. You know what I mean? I don't hate it. It's just, man, it's not. The only reason why we're talking about it is because of how different it is comparative to the guns that came before it. No other reason. And it's this weird anomaly because there's no shotgun after it, besides maybe the Doom 2016 pistol, which you don't use,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
It's that gun
Yeah.
in Doom 3 as well.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I mean the Doom
that's
3
all.
pistol's pretty useless as well. So I mean,
It-
I just feel that about
objectively, for sure.
starting pistols in
There's a
any
Doom 3
game
pistol?
always just
There's-
suck.
Yeah.
Zombie killer.
Yeah,
But you see a
Yeah.
I
shotgun.
mean,
ammo.
as soon as you get the
Yeah.
assault rifle, it served its purpose.
It's more
I like to
effective
use the
than
Doom
the
3
2016
pistol to
one,
just
though.
shoot random corpses and make
Yeah.
sure that they're not going to zombify on me.
it is a good check and see if they're actually dead kind of weapon though. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You know,
So
if you
I-
wanted to come on here and argue with someone, then you could go full on YouTube commenter mode and insist that it is actually great from a long range and that this is a skill issue.
Yeah. Do a video saying the Doom 3 shotgun is the best ever, and here's why.
Yeah,
That's my
It's-
activity.
it's
I
even
wish
better.
I felt
That'd
that
be a
way.
good
I
way to
wish
get a
I
lot of
could.
views.
Like the
You know, I
Mario's
love the
Mexican
Doom 3
type of
shotgun,
thing.
actually. I'm planning on getting a tattoo that says Doom 3 shotgun good actually. And I'm gonna get it in typeface.
that would be the end of our friendship, brother.
No,
Good.
I just want to go to like PAX or something and have somebody
Ooh.
look at it and want to throw hands with me.
Just
Because-
get one of those like henna tattoo things and then
Yeah.
go to a Comic-Con or
Just
something.
Yeah,
make
at
sure
least
that it
then-
says
at least you can
good
try
at
it,
long
yeah.
range. Actually,
Jesus Christ!
Oh,
But
yeah.
I
No,
can't
No,
do that
just the
part.
text good at long range
Long
on your
text.
chest.
Your whole arm.
like across
shoulder
the,
to
this is now
wrist.
No,
two
like it's not
tattoo
even about the Doom
ideas.
3 shotgun at that point. Just
Just
good at
good
long
at-
range.
Good at long range.
Yeah, just
This is
tattoo it
now
on.
2 tattoo ideas that Trav has given me, and I'm still planning on getting that other one.
Yeah,
You better. I want you to, and I'm gonna
I'm
get
just-
it too, and we'll be twins.
Yes, we need to twin. Fuck yes.
So I got a
So
question. I got a
Okay, sorry.
no,
ahead.
no. Finish your train of thought, and then I got a question.
I was
for you
gonna
all
say.
after.
So Trav was showing me some tattoo ideas that they'd come up with, and one of them was like getting the Quake runes. But I was like, what about doing that as like knuckle tattoos? I'm like,
Oh, that's
have
not
all
the thing.
four Quake
Yeah.
runes as knuckle tattoos.
that
When
sounds
we were
good.
talking about it, I was like, I think I have to fucking do that. Like, I absolutely have to fucking do that.
Yeah,
I could do that. Yeah, I can see that happening.
sweet man. I'll get.
And then on the other hand, you have, I don't know, the hammer from the DLC expansion. I don't know.
Or on the other
Mjolnir.
hand, there's those 4 runes that surround the mark of the Doomslayer, and you just put those there.
Oh.
So then you've got Doom and
Ooh,
Quake on
yeah.
both hands.
So going from old Doom to new Doom, yeah, question, right? So what's the most misunderstood mechanic in classic Doom that modern devs still get wrong? Anyone, just
Crap.
I want your first thoughts, just whoever talks first. What is it that they
Mechanically,
get wrong?
the running and gunning part, because it's not
Yeah.
really designed to be a run and gun action shooter. It is a horror game. The original Doom is a horror game. It's designed to be scary. It's designed to be in your face and make you jump out of your seat. Now, the speed of being able to move throughout it isn't indicative of it being like a Fast and Furious style shooter. That came later. So I think mechanically understanding this is meant to be paced at a certain way, and you can break the game and you can still run through it. There's nothing wrong with that. Speed running is fantastic for a reason. But much like Quake, the first one, the game is designed to spook you. The game is designed to scare you. You just have a shotgun to fight back and kind of feel that kind of like heavy metal sort of album cover vibe as you're going through it.
Yeah, I think kind of something similar, like Doom and Quake, and a lot of those games from that time were actually designed more so as horror experiences. I mean, you can even go back to when Doom released, and you can see a lot of things where people didn't want to play it because it was scary, or like things like this. And I mean, that's what it was. It was 100% marketed as this thing inspired by Alien and Evil Dead and stuff like that. To it was horror first, and the whole like run and gun, balls to the wall, like intense running all the time, auto run on. That kind of was the thing that came later when the horror aspect of it kind of wore off and people got older and it was no
Well, it
longer
was-
scary.
it was-
So then everybody in the future basically, kind of just viewed it as this run and gun action game.
Yeah,
But that wasn't
there
really
was
technically its original intention.
I
there's
have
still a
thoughts.
uniquity.
Yeah, Trav.
You got it. Yeah. Go Trav.
Right. So I think that if we want to look at this in a good example, I think we should look at Knee Deep in the Dead. First episode, first couple levels of that. The thing that it does so well, and that I think is the reason I keep coming back to play the first Doom. I played it last night. over games like even Doom 2, which I think doesn't quite do it as well, but expansions like Plutonia understand this really well, is the usage of, I'm going to use the term fodder, even though that's more applicable to like Eternal and Dark Ages, but these lesser zombie men that shoot you, that die so fast, but they're surrounding these larger enemies. They're surrounding these pinkies and these imps, and later on barons, hell knights, etc. And they are cannon fodder. You shoot through them. You sit at a distance. You specifically target those hit scanners because they are a threat, but they are very weak. And it gives you that feeling of mowing down these entire crowds just so that you can get at the juicy center inside that crowd, which is in earlier levels, the imps, the pinkies, the barons. And I think that is a feeling that even id hasn't recreated in like some of their games between 2016 and even Doom 2. Like that feeling of just cutting through crowds to get to the juicy center. It's missing, and Doom has done it in a way that I think a lot of games haven't.
Yeah. Hyacsho, what's your take?
For sure.
Okay, for me, I think it's kind of the fact that the original Doom games weren't really horror games to begin with. No, I'm just teasing. So the original Doom games were essentially a Dungeons and Dragons RPG in first person, right? The idea was to go up against horror, demons, whatever the case may be. But the goal of the game was to get the keys and unlock to the next level, and then save the day. Was the fighting the demons and just mowing down these beasties and everything like that is really awesome. But that's the byproduct of the objective, right? It comes to a game like that. And RPG is too much. It's not the right word for it. But for me, like what I don't think they get right in modern games with the running and gunning is that intent. All right, so we're in. Let's use 2016 as a great example. All right, he's very angry. He's so angry, and he's going to blow them all away. It's like, cool. Okay, he's going to save the day, but there's no innate intent to progress necessarily outside that. He's really angry, he wants to kill everything and just save the world at some point. Do you know what I mean? Where I think the original games kind of get that, oh, okay, I'm in a level, I need to escape the level. To escape the level, I need to get these keys to unlock and then so forth. The demons are just in my way, which creates the fun zone. Yeah, so for me, what I don't think they get right is that intent, that why are we doing this? What is the push to progress me to the next part of the level other than killing more things, which is totally cool, by the way, for the record. But I think that's what's missing for me. We have a little bit of that in 2016, and they kind of bring that back in Dark Ages a little bit, Eternal sometimes. So it's all right. There's nothing wrong with the current state of play, but I think maybe that's what I think they miss. I like the fact in 2016 that they had skull keys again in the hell sections, things like that. I think that it does slow the game down to some degree, but it does create an intent for you to run around and shoot things. I think Doom the Dark Ages could have done a little bit more with that kind of thing. It could have given you a reason to scope through Siege Part 1 and Part 2 a little bit easier than just collecting gold. So, but that's what I think they get a little bit missed. Not necessarily always a bad thing, just something I think that maybe they could explore better.
Yeah. Mayo,
I think there's something that tickles the lizard brain when you're doing that sense of progression. I am here in this area collecting all of these things, slowly getting more and more items and stuff until I can unlock my way, get out. Like it's focusing. I think what I'm hearing from you and interpreting is it's focusing on being a game as opposed to an immersive experience.
True.
Yeah. I think it's that almost collectathon like experience. Like you said, it's like the lizard brain, that kind of collect them all mentality. I think I agree with that too. And I was going to say that, like in 2016 and Eternal and stuff, you kind of obviously you still collect those things to progress or whatever, but there's less of it because your route to where you're going is less labyrinthine and more linear, and you get versus in classic Doom games and Quake and such, you're progressing, and I mean you can pretty much run past enemies and just completely miss them. but actually 2016 Eternal oftentimes block you off from progression like an old, like early 2000s game like God of War does, and doesn't let you progress until you've killed everything.
Yeah.
And it just kind of takes away from that, like, I'm here trying to survive and make it on. It feels more video gamey while being less video gamey. I don't know. It's kind of complicated, but yeah.
I hear that. I hear that.
I'm all for the combat arenas. I mean, I'm here for the combat. So lock me in.
No, yeah, it's good.
Lock me in and make me fight. I don't want every room to be that. Like, I don't want it to be like Devil May Cry 5, which is just like a series of combat rooms with hallways in between them. I do not want that in a Doom game. But like, especially in the new games where they're really emphasizing the combat mechanics, then like all the AI changes and like there's so much depth in the combat. I don't want 13 levels where I can run past everything. Like lock me in and not just force me to fight, but show me what your interesting, like, handcrafted enemy waves are. Because it's not just you versus demons. It's like, okay, these demons spawn in at a certain point in a certain part of the map. It's a whole thing. It's a big crafted fight. And so yeah, I'm here for that. And I'm disappointed if we don't get anything like that.
Sure.
I don't think they should do away with any of the current combat state of things. Like the way that the modern Doom has evolved to have that at its core is the most awesome power trip that, like, you can ever experience. It is far beyond anything that I could have ever thought they could have done. When I had guys talking, how can they improve FPS experience in freaking Call of Duty or whatever rubbish? It's like, oh, you know what you should do? You should go play Doom Eternal on Ultra Nightmare, and you'll be better by this afternoon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The gameplay is immensely powerful in modern Doom. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Have you seen the Call of Duty trailer with as a giant guy slamming his fist or something? And it's like, what the hell is this crap? This is not Call of Duty or something.
I haven't watched the Call of Duty video news.
If they want to
Call
play
of Duty
that,
trying to chase trends, come on, man. Let's not.
if they want to play that game,
what is it, Fortnite?
Go play Doom Eternal. Yeah. Oh my
Fast and Furious 10
They're
or
adding
something.
Beavis and Butthead though to Doom. I mean, not to Doom.
I would
Whatever.
I would absolutely fuck with a Beavis skin, like the fucking Doomslayer takes off the helmet and it's just like
when the Doomslayer appeared in Fortnite.
That would be perfect. I gotta be honest. I'm down for that.
When the Doomslayer appeared in Fortnite, I genuinely got pissed off when I saw that, and he's doing that stupid little dance sort of thing. I'm like, what an absolute
Yeah, I mean, they
goddamn...
put Kratos in there. They put Master Chief in there.
I loved it. It made me
Beavis and
actually
Butthead.
install Fortnite.
Yeah.
Ink Hill. I mean,
Actually, Trav,
if
same.
it exists,
I did
it's
the
been
same.
important.
I can't believe they're running on that
We
train.
just don't want. I was just gonna say, we just don't want like super serious modern things. Like, we don't want like the headless girl from Hereditary in Fortnite.
Yeah,
But
That's
that
where
would
you're
be
wrong,
so
kiddo.
cool. Think of me like everyone's like, but how do I headshot?
That's it. There'll be
true.
a mechanic in
It's
there.
true.
Yeah.
just body shots.
It'd be a good
Just
Halloween
body
thing or
shots.
something like that. Yeah. But in terms of, like, you know, we're talking about the tropes and that sort of stuff then. So obviously, you know, modern boomer shooters are bringing back the old style. Is there something that you wish perhaps that, you know, isn't being included in newer boomer shooter games that are in older games that you wish they'd bring back?
Rocket jumping.
Rocket
Okay.
jumping would be pretty dope.
I heard backtracking. Mayo, what? Talk us about it.
Backtracking. I mean, it depends on the experience you're trying to make. You know, like I don't want Mullet Mad Jack to have backtracking. But,
Sure.
you know,
Heard.
but if your game is emphasizing exploration, then sure. I mean, good backtracking can be good, especially if you have spawns to complement it. Because if you end up, you know, backtracking a whole bunch and there's no new enemies that spawn in, one, that can get a little boring, and two, it can get a little confusing if, like, knowing if you should be backtracking or not. That's the worst feeling. When you're like, am I supposed to be backtracking? That's a bad feeling. And so sometimes
Yeah.
I like that. I like the innovation of where, like, if you're backtracking, like, a new enemy might be there when it wasn't there before, and you just get that that little clue that like, okay, I'm on the right path.
Dark Ages does that pretty well.
Yeah, yeah. So like
Yeah.
I like it in that context, as long as the action complements it.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I said backtracking was a little bit more in line with like Romero's ideas with the first Doom. It's not so much that
Mhm.
you're having to go back like you would in survival horror, just sort of go back to the room you didn't go to, but sort of have a reason to keep cycling back and forth, kind of sprinting
Mhm.
back and forth,
Mhm.
that kind of thing.
You know, I
So
really
he
like
was really into the idea that you start to map in your head the level physically by the time you've
Uh-huh.
left it. So it starts to really feel like you're having to immerse yourself because you're having to treat it like it's got. I guess it's not immersive, such a generic word, but the idea is that you realize the functionality of the place as it's being presented to you. You're like, okay, that
I
was
think
the
immersive
third
is the
door here,
perfect
that's
word. For this,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
I love Sentinel Command Station in the Dark Ages.
Yes.
Precisely because of this. It's not really like conscious backtracking, but the map loops itself around multiple times to pass through that center arena 3 times.
That's
Mhm.
exactly the
Mhm.
point that I was going to
Yeah.
get to. Like my thought was, like Sigil 2, I think did that really well, which is a weird example to bring up. I've only played through it like twice. But then it went into like how this is a weird one. How Dark Souls handles shortcuts, looping you back into the bonfires. But I mean that design philosophy works really well if you're doing that sort of key hunting Doom
Mhm.
Quake style level design.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a like
Yeah, that's
naturalistic
kind of why I mentioned that
pathfinding.
labyrinthine design before. You know, just that kind of interlocking.
Basically
Coming back
everything
together kinda
Wolfenstein
thing.
3D doesn't do.
That's it. Yeah.
Yes,
Exactly.
unfortunately. I've been
And
playing
higher
a lot-
ceilings
So
are
like
always a
Quake
good thing
2,
too. Yeah.
Quake 2 does it pretty well.
Yeah, I've been
yes.
playing a lot of the Heretic remaster over the last few days, and one of the second map, E1, M2, and Heretic does this great bit where you land in this kind of central area. You see yellow key door, green key door, and then a regular door. You go through the regular door, find the yellow key, go through the yellow key door. As you go through the yellow key door, there's blue key door right there, so you know you have to find a blue key as well. Go find the green key. It naturally loops all the way back into the center, dumps you out right next to the green key door. You go through the green key door, do all that. Blue key, you already know where the blue key door is, so all you have to do is just make your way back, fight your way through, and it's this great sort of environmental storytelling that tells you you're going to have to go to all these places without ever having to make you search for it too hard. I like the labyrinthine design that makes you go, okay, if I turn this way, I'll go here, I'll turn that way, I go there. Which paths do I have to explore first? You know, kind of like Hyacsho was talking about the Dungeons and Dragons inspiration. And I like that a lot. But also like what Mayo was saying, like I don't want to get that from Mullet Mad Jack. I don't necessarily want to see that in like Ultra Kill or even in the new Dooms necessarily. But like if you're creating environments that can tell that sort of like visual directions without having to hold you by the hand, that's something that I think we could 100% benefit more from. That's one of the biggest keys of the retro shooters that I think people really loved about them, the ones that were really well done that way. Would love to see more of that.
But I want my handheld.
No.
I will hold your hand, Trav.
No-
I will hold your
No
hand and we will get
no
through
yellow
together.
hand for you.
What?
Actually, that's it. So I'm gonna jump in. Sorry. I mean,
Apologize, motherfucker.
Oh.
That's right, you need to stand up and be like, I'm Hyacsho, bitch, I'll do what I want. Not in
I'm
this
the
accent,
least of
though,
a
'cause
man
I
here,
don't know
but
what
I
it
understand.
is.
Be a man.
What Ruby was saying with all the looping and everything like that, let us find it out. That's exactly what I wrote down. Is kind of so like a lot of today's. I was thinking about Doom and like Eternal and Dark Ages. Dark Ages does a little bit better, but what I really liked about Doom Eternal, what I liked about a lot of the older games, Dusk, for example, does this really well, where it kind of just lets you go and figure shit out on your own. And I think a lot of games need to do more of that these days. Mayo, I know you're a big fan of Resident Evil and things like that, so I'd be curious to what you think about the more modern editions and how they yellow paint things, I guess. I haven't played the games as much myself, but I do like them. So for me, what I'd really like them to try and maybe do a little bit more of is let the gamer actually figure out the mechanics on their own without developers being scared that gamers are going to get frustrated and put the game down. I mean, a lot of the time, the funnest part of the game is actually, oh, I didn't know we could do that, holy fuck! And then jumping in and doing that thing 20 times. I use Dusk as an example because I really like Dusk, and you can do a lot of experimentation with its gameplay there. So, yeah, that's something I wish they would do a bit more of instead of a lot of hand-holding tutorials. The modern Doom games do a lot less of that, I think. Depending. And I think you can switch the tutorials off now.
It depends on the game, and this isn't just Doom. It's a lot of games. Like, hell, I just played Shinobi, and it's the same kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like when there are so many core mechanics that you have to understand in order to find the game fun, you cannot risk not telling the player about them, right? Like Dusk. All right, yeah, Dusk doesn't have a bunch of tutorials, but what is there to Dusk? All right, there's a lot of stuff to discover, right? But you can pick it up and pull the trigger and run around, and you're in the fun zone of Dusk, right? But if you don't know how to use the flame belch in Eternal, and you're not switching your grenade types, and you're not breaking enemy weak points, and you're not restocking your ammo, then you're not in the fun zone. There's a lot more to know. And so, just like with Shinobi, there's all this stuff that the game has to tell you about, and they can't just let people play the game for 15 hours and discover what the mechanics are, because people will be bored in 30 minutes because they won't be playing it in any kind of fun way. So it's a game-to-game basis. It depends on how much there is to introduce and how important knowing all of it is, at an early stage of the game.
Yeah, Eternal would have been a lot less fun if you had to, like you say, spend half the time trying to figure out the perfect combination to black belt better on Nightmare difficulty. Dude, it just showed you the first few times.
Could you imagine how frustrating it would be for a casual new player to play Eternal the first time and not know that you can break the Arachnotron turret? They have to tell them. Now, could they tell them in a more elegant way than a pop-up tutorial? Sure, but they have to tell them somehow. There has to be some degree of player education for mechanics, especially when mechanics are alien to a common player, when it's not something that they would think to even do.
And that's the thing, with Doom the Dark Ages and Doom Eternal, most of that gameplay experience, even for veterans of the series, like Dark Ages now, for example, everyone from Eternal is now moving over to Dark Ages and thinking, oh, okay, cool, same game, right? And not really, so you got to kind of re-educate even the veterans as well without insulting their talent education. That's a very interesting point.
Insult them, they deserve it.
Without interrupting, I feel like I have a really strong opinion on that, because as someone who actually prefers games that tell me very little, and I'm biased in the fact that I've been playing video games since I was like 2 or 3 years old, so it doesn't matter what video game we're playing. I mean, sitting and playing the Shinobi demo like last week, and sure, that doesn't contain everything that's in the whole base game, but I mean, from the start, before they even give you a first tutorial, you can go off on some crazy combos if you just know how to press buttons and know how to throw shurikens and do all this stuff. So it's like, if you already know the basics of how video games function, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be able to mess around with buttons and figure some things out. And when it comes to things like Doom Eternal and shooting the turret on the Arachnotron, I understand the perspective of going, hey, we don't know that we can do this, so therefore we need to show them that they can do this. But instead of having a pop-up window, one of the worst tutorialization things ever utilized in video games, ever, in my opinion, instead, what you do is before the Arachnotron, you show that you can shoot the grenade at something that has maybe a hint of a glow or a hint or a certain, light color, something very vague, but very much so showing it's like cracks in the wall in Zelda, okay? Very simple, very easy. And so then if you use that same hue, or maybe even, there's a little crack that you can see on the Arachnotron's turret on the side of the gun or something.
I think there's definitely
and
ways they
then
could
that
show
shows,
yeah.
Well, what about yellow
no,
paint?
fuck yellow paint. Fuck yellow paint, Hyacsho. Fuck yellow paint.
So hold on.
Just throw yellow paint all over the Arachnotron.
I'll talk about the Doom 3 shotgun, or the Doom 3 super shotgun, because that thing still one-shots Archviles, and I thought that was lame as hell.
Really? You can one-shot an Archvile with that thing?
Yeah, you get point blank with an SSG and the Doom 3 expansions, and it will one-shot an Archie.
Yeah,
And
but
honestly, on God, I feel like that's what an SSG should do. Like,
No, it's an arch file.
No,
What?
I don't fucking.
It's
care.
supposed to
That
take
thing is
at
2
least,
fucking barrels
at
of nothing
least
but
4.
No, Trav.
Could
Come on.
you
I
take
want to
4
feel
shotguns to the
overpowered,
face?
but just
No, of
increase
course
the
it's
speed
good.
of the reload time on that thing. Like,
Of
it
course
will
it's
just
gonna
gank
take-
anything, but then you're like, motherfucker, and then you're like circle strafing and trying
But
not to get
then
hit.
what is the big boy that we are supposed to be afraid of?
You can
What
shoot
is
the
the big
nuts
boy?
off the bloody.
You-
what's
Because the
it
thing
called?
that makes me feel so
Cyber
damn
demon.
overpowered is learning how to overcome the big boy.
Fine.
Okay, so yeah, burning
Fine.
questions round.
Have you been given any
Okay.
good advice lately?
Have I been given any good advice? Oh man, you guys got to go deep with these questions.
Who
Change
have
our
you
lives.
fucked?
Oh, there you go.
That's rough.
Who is not?
Oh man, that's an easy that's an easier question to answer. Have I been given any good advice lately? Yeah, I guess so. Keep your secrets to yourself.
Right, that sounds like it's a
Advice?
question.
So don't tell us who you fucked. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Alrighty. If the Marauder had a cooking show, what would his signature dish be? And would you still hate it?
An Argent butter.
What would his signature dish be? You know what? I see the Marauder as a pasta guy. Right?
I was gonna say spaghetti and meatballs, bro.
I was gonna say like
Oh, and the meatballs are Kako Demon.
like Thai food.
No, Marauder meatballs.
Marauder meatballs? Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah. None of this matters.
I'll answer
None of this
that.
matters.
One of the
Oh
most
shit.
cutting edge questions.
You just hear him shaking the aspirin bottle. Like, God, do I have any more in here?
Earlier, I couldn't tell if that was a breath or a bong rip, but you know.
The hell did I just hear there? Jesus.
You heard the segue to Trav.
What's
Okay.
up?
What's up, dog?
Trav
Yo,
is gonna be
Trav.
Hey, Trav.
Trav's gonna be the villain in the next Conjuring movie.
All right.
I'm filling in the next Contra movie? What?
I said you're gonna be the villain in the next Conjuring movie.
Oh,
Oh,
All right, Trav.
hit me.
Question numero uno. What's something that you find attractive that others may not?
Men.
Lock it in. On the same path, if Ultra Kill had a dating sim spinoff, which weapon would be the most emotionally unavailable? And would you still try
Which
to
weapon?
romance it?
What?
A most emotionally unavailable weapon, the drill for the railgun. Because every time you talk to it, it just goes. You know.
I feel that.
I feel like I brought bad vibes to the podcast today. I think I gotta go.
No,
It's been fun.
no.
It's been
just
Don't
fun.
go anywhere.
You can
Okay,
say it's
anyway.
emotionally unavailable because it's boring.
Oh, oh! You made my alarm go off on my watch.
Fuck yes.
Okay. No, but to give you a better answer for that first question, what's something I find attractive that most people don't? I don't know. Never
Morty,
mind.
is
Move
that
on.
you?
Move on. Goodbye.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Hyacsho.
Some
What
things
do
don't
you
need to go
think?
on the internet.
No, you better
Ask
post
me a
all of this,
question,
motherfucker. You better post all of this.
Ask me a
yeah,
damn
no, post all
question.
Tell me your secrets. What do you think is the most useful skill to know?
How to open a can.
A can?
Like
Not,
a
you mean not like a ball?
Okay.
Yeah. No,
It's legit.
seriously. Open a can with a butter knife.
Open a jar
Do you
of
know this
Mayo?
trick?
I think that's a good. He's right.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like I've lived on my when I lived on my own for the first time, I got a whole bunch of can of tuna. Like I was like, oh shit, and baked beans because I didn't have a lot of money. So I was like, fuck yeah, look at me, I'm being an adult, right? So I got all this shit. So I'm so proud of myself. Stood in the kitchen about to have something to eat. Stood there with the can and realized I didn't have a can opener. So proceeded to, for the next hour, use a butter knife to open up the can to eat something. So best advice ever. Whatever the question was, how to open up a can with a butter knife, or buy a can opener if you have cash.
Yeah, try being left-handed and using one of them.
Oh God, are you a left-hander?
Lefty, my whole
Me?
life.
No.
You Rob, you're a left-hander, Handy?
I'm a left-hander, yeah, which is why I'm always asking
you're
for
lefty?
left-handed
You
mode
use
in
your
FPS
left, your
games.
handies?
I
Wow.
understand your insinuation,
much.
Trav. I
That
understand the
explains so
insinuation.
much about Rob.
Yeah.
That's a
So-
dying breed.
Moving on, yeah.
What's the next question?
Yes, sir. If you had to replace every Doom enemy with different types of bread, which loaf would be the archvile, and would it still ruin your day?
Archvile would be a baguette, and it would ruin my day because it's too long, it's too hard, and you can't cut it open properly to make a proper sandwich. And then when you do eat it, all right, you got to stuff this whole thing in your mouth, okay? And it's
You're
difficult to
just
get your
describing
lips
Robert.
around. You know, stuff this whole thing in your mouth. It's very difficult to get your mouth around, right?
I'm
And
always
it hurts
saying
the
this.
size of your gums there. So baguette, yeah. That's how it would ruin
Is
my
it
day.
without trying that it keeps going in this direction? Without even trying.
You don't have
I'm not even trying. I'm not
There's
even
no
trying.
try
This is
here.
beyond default.
Oh, God,
You don't
we're
have to
just
put
a
the whole
bunch of-
sandwich in your mouth. Just
Yeah.
what
Just
are
a
you
little
doing?
nibble,
Little bite?
yeah.
Just a little bite. I love it here.
It's like, how
I
are you
fucking
supposed to
love it
put
here.
this giant sandwich in your mouth?
Right?
Oh my
It's got to be a
god.
French thing.
Oh my god.
Just wipe it up.
Jesus Christ.
Was it as
All
good
right,
for you as
Ruby.
was for me?
Let's take
Yes,
this
sir. I'm here,
section
sir.
home.
Yeah.
What do you consider the best decision that you've made thus far in your life?
Getting together with my partner, Mrs. Ranger. Honestly, no, it was a situation where we knew each other peripherally, and she kept sliding into my DMs, but I was like, no, that's cool. Not into dating anybody right now in any way, shape, or form.
Like she was standing
And,
next to you? Or what do you mean?
Is she? No, there's no, 100%. I'm super solo right now. Yeah,
No, I mean like you saw her peripherally.
No. We knew each other. So I'm a
Fucking hate
bartender,
this guy.
and she was someone who infrequently came through my bar. So
Oh,
that was how I knew her in a
Oh,
peripheral
okay.
sense.
Oh.
Yeah, but then one night she was like, "Hey, you want to hang out?" I was like, "Nope, hanging out with some people for a birthday party." And she's like, "Well, maybe when you're done." I was like, yeah, maybe. As in, no way. But when I was out, she happened to walk into the bar that I was out with the people that I was with, and there was just literally something that told me I need to get up and go over there and say hi to this person and invite them over. And I still to this day have zero idea why. But we
That's
ended
how it
up
goes,
hitting
man.
it off and just drank the whole night away, and we've been together ever since.
Aw.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
so-
man, that's
Oh.
great.
We should ask afterwards how everyone met their partner. Mine sat right next to me
No.
about 10 feet away. You can't see that.
Yeah, she was like, no.
Yeah.
No.
Don't
He's
put
like,
that
that's
evil
one
on
of
me,
those
Ricky
secrets.
Bobby.
I gotta keep it right here.
I don't like mine are so boring in that regard. Like, no, I'm not gonna answer that. Never mind.
We could talk about it off air if you want.
All right. Well, hit me with the bullshit
Really
question.
second question.
To replace your entire arsenal with kitchen utensils, what would your loadout be? And who's your final boss? Gordon Ramsay or a possessed refrigerator?
My arsenal has kitchen utensils. Taking the pizza cutter for sure. 100% taking a can opener because you never know when you need to open a can.
Yeah.
An oven mitt because that can also act as kind of like a nice little defense. You never know when you're facing against something hot. And my final boss is definitely gonna be Gordon Ramsay because like a possessed refrigerator sounds kind of cool, but there's something about Gordon Ramsay that's just really punchable, and I think that I would like to indulge that.
Like the video of
Yeah,
when he
my
was like,
experience
I got in
with,
a car wreck and he shows his abdomen and it's all purple.
My experience with possessed refrigerators, I would also not pick that option because back in Control, don't know if you all played
Oh,
Control,
yeah.
but if you did, there's a refrigerator that if you look away, you die.
Yeah.
So
They have to alternate blinking left and right so that
Yep.
they keep their eye on it.
Oh no.
Yep.
Oh no.
Right.
And
See,
then
in
the
my
guy
head,
falls
I'm
asleep.
picturing-
and-
I'm picturing a possessed refrigerator, the same as the possessed piano from Super Mario 64, and I'm like, I don't
Okay,
fuck
well,
with
that
that
works
the
shit.
teeth.
like a mimic, just trying to
Get
eat
away.
you.
Yeah, exactly.
What's your
Careful.
take on the arena combat formula? Would you say it's evolved since Doom Eternal, or has it stagnated? Open question to the floor.
I think that they have done a great job with Dark Ages kind of finding a middle ground. There's a lot of areas in between combat where you don't need to kill everything that's in the room with you. My mind goes to the Hebeth mission where stone imps jump out of the wall, you go into the secret and an imp comes out, and then there's a bunch of little fodder enemies right before you go to meet the Hell Knight for the first time. You could just run past all of that. You don't have to fight them, but there are still those required combat encounters where you have to kill everything. And I think that they've done a good job at finding a good blend of that.
Yeah, I agree.
Even though I love Eternal's style, but Eternal also has a larger emphasis on movement and all that, so it makes sense that they want to lock you into more rooms. So I don't know. I like the direction they're going with it, though.
Yeah, I think with the Dark Ages, just changing things slightly. You know the foot noises that he makes when he runs, or that. You know,
Yeah.
you take that out of it, it's every bit as kinetic and fast as Doom Eternal. I think literally that
Sure.
one sound effect is what grounds it in this. This is heavy movement in that.
Mm-hmm.
So
But the
Well,
move,
you can make
the
it
run.
play.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say you can make it play like Doom Eternal if you take the new 2.0 update when you can take the slow mo off. If you increase it to 150%, 20%, I forget now, increase that to that speed, take the slow mo off, you actually get a very Eternal-like experience with that,
yeah.
which is, I actually like that. But I do agree, I like the Stompy. When I first heard that in the Siege mission, that's actually pretty chill.
I love the stomp. Look, even without bumping up the speed and adjusting slow mo, the run speed is faster than any base movement speed in the other two Dooms. Like, it's
Yeah,
kind of
for sure.
jarring going back to Eternal and being like, oh wow, I have to dash every second in order to be
It's
to
true.
be moving quickly. Now, just running is faster than our movement has ever been. Plus the shield bash. Once you know how to use
can
that
cut
You
as a
basically have a
mobility
meat
tool,
hook in your pocket at all times.
yeah, like the game is incredibly fast and mobile, which is like, I think it's one of the like big missteps in the initial marketing was that they didn't actually show you how fast the movement and combat could actually be. It's the first thing I noticed once I turned the game on. I was like, oh my god, look at me running around here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like if we can
Yeah.
The
even
whole
go back,
idea of
we can go back for like 1 second and talk about mechanics from the older games to bring back. I think I would say shift key to run, because one of the things that I kind of lament in a lot of the modern shooters is you're just moving fast kind of all the time by default, and there's no option to move at a slower pace and then hit a key to run faster in order to move
Yeah.
when you need to move faster.
Incision uses it though.
Incision definitely uses it, yeah, and it's few and far between in my experience, and that's one of the things. Like I'm still sorting out my feelings on the Dark Ages. I'm not as negative on it as I thought I was for a second, but I'm
Gonna throw
still
rocks
sorting
at
my
you.
feelings out. One of the things I really do like is the shift key to run aspect of it, because then I can control my speed more. I can control how I'm aiming, when I need to move, when I need to no, I need to slow down and aim. No, now I need to get the fuck out of here and go over here. And then the emphasis on moving as fast as you possibly fucking can at any given point is something that I'm not as big a fan of in the more of the modern shooters. And I want to have that option to let me slow down for half a second, let me train my sights, let me move when I need to move.
Yeah.
I
You have
really
to
like
create the level
the
design.
I really like the methodical sort of movement decision making that the Dark Ages has, particularly with the shield bash iframes. Like once you really know to spot an enemy projectile coming your way and just be like, I'm going to target the guy behind him and iframe through his projectile, that takes the game's movement to a whole other level once you know how to recognize that stuff.
Yeah.
Seems to me that I was going to start by like saying, oh no, arena battles haven't evolved much, but then I was like, no, they kind of have. Maybe not in like the traditional sense of improving an arena with itself, but if you look at the Dark Ages now and you compare that to 2016, for example, easy example, they didn't take the traditional formula of what Eternal was, which is throw more stuff at it, make it more mobile, make it bigger. They kind of keep you on the ground, and Mayo mentioned it earlier, it's like you kind of understand where things are starting to be placed and how to use certain enemies as resources, which is actually unique. Well, I don't know if it's unique to Doom now that I think about it, but it's a really nice twist on how you can make an arena more engaging.
Yes.
Yeah, look, I mean, I don't think it's like, oh my god, arena battles have come so far. I do think it's an interesting way to evolve the space, so it's not dead, it's not stagnant like I started saying. But now that I think about it, yeah, that's actually quite an interesting point.
It's a reinterpretation, right? It's not like it's like the next stage. It's a similar tune but played by a different band, right? It's like we had the meat hook compared to the shield bash. Yeah, they both take you pretty far. The shield bash is so instant. It's always available, and it's a faltering tool as well. And so, like, the meat hook didn't do that. I mean, meat hook would cause fodder to stand still, but if you meat hook into a Hell Knight, be careful, right? You don't want to get too close unless you're going in with a blood punch. Yeah. Shield bashes falter on anything under a Mancubus, and so I don't know. It's a different way to play, and I've found it very, very fun.
Like,
but
if
your
they
question,
brought back. So
I was just going to say the question about the evolution of arena combat. Is there really any discussion about it outside of the Dark Ages? Because I don't know any like modern. I mean, but like, is there a new Tribes?
Actually, is Tribes 3? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I've oddly heard nothing about.
Well, that's what I mean. Like what other arena shooting combat games are people really talking about right now? I don't know.
Slipgate.
Yeah, I don't say at this moment probably nothing.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing more telefragging in the new Doom games. You don't really see telefragging nowadays, and let alone arena.
They're saving it for the Quake reboot, baby.
Anytime.
What, you saying Dark Ages wasn't a Quake reboot? What?
No.
We need a Serious Sam game is what we need.
Dear God, let's not get on that train.
It is, yeah.
Well, unless Travel may have something to add to that, I don't really.
No,
about what?
A Quake reboot?
That whole conversation that the Dark Ages were meant to be a Quake game.
Oh no, it absolutely was not. It aesthetically kind of gave us the impression that it might have been, but then you play it and you're like, oh, this is
there will never be a new Quake.
I think it was made to test the ground, though.
I don't know.
There will
I
never
agree
be
with
the-
Mayo.
The interest.
I don't think that the interest is there on a fully public level.
I've been trying to tell people that if they make a new Quake, they're gonna call it something like Doom the Quakening. Like they're gonna brand it differently.
Doom versus Quake, or
because
something like that.
interest in
Quake is kept
Like
alive.
a Freddy versus Jason kind of thing.
I've made that argument in the past, where like Quake's just somehow doesn't have the. It just has never had the staying power that Doom's had. It doesn't, when people look back, there's more people talking about.
Well, yes,
yeah, I guess so. But I mean, there's more people.
Untrue.
I don't know. So here's always been my argument. You can come at it from your side, but so here's my argument. If I go to my job tomorrow, and I say, "Hey, everybody, raise your hand," and I'm talking to random people. Some play video games, some don't. And I say, raise your hand, how many people know what Doom is, and then how many people know what Quake is. There's a pretty good likelihood that more people are going to know what Doom is. And this is just a fact, because I've tested in other scenarios, and 9 times out of 10, more people know what Doom is. And there's a lot of reasons for this, though. Doom has had 2 shitty movies. Doom has had several video games, spin-off video games, re-releases, remasters, ports, mobile versions, phone versions. It can be played on everything. It might even be able to be played on your mother. You know what I mean? So it's like it can be played on everything. So it's like Doom And it was a cultural icon. It was like this thing that was bigger than everything when it came out. And Quake was big, but at the same time Quake was coming out, so was Duke Nukem. And it was Duke Nukem was just as popular for completely different reasons at the exact same time. Quake has always had to battle against something else, where Doom rarely ever has had to actually... It's never had real, true, genuine competition outside of Doom 3 versus Half-Life 2. You know what I mean? Butcher Bay just kind of got like shoved down in the trash can. Everybody, it's like it just like didn't exist for a lot of people. So
I think that's
when
a factor.
when Doom was coming out, it's never had much
I'll let you
competition.
finish, actually.
No, you're good. That's pretty much the gist of it.
So in the 1980s, there was a big comic book revolution that pushed comic books towards being a more seriously taken medium. And two of those comic books that were huge and pushing that revolution towards more mature storytelling in comic books forward was The Dark Knight Returns and Watchmen. One of them starred Batman. And Batman is a name.
Shout out Batman.
No matter what you do, Batman will always be a name and more recognizable. But Watchmen arguably is more influential, despite not being as well known. Now, we've had the Watchmen movie and we've had the Watchmen series, so we've seen that resurgence. But we've had how many more actors play Batman? We've had how many more Batman movies, TV shows, etc., etc. Doom is a name. Doom was the essential, like, initial ground point of first-person shooters, kind of like Batman was one of the original heroes. Whereas Watchmen came and like thoroughly deconstructed and pushed things forward, so too did Quake, and the influence of Quake is still being felt in games today.
Yes.
So the first Quake was pushing forward graphics, maintained the simplicity of the first-person shooter aspect. Quake 2 pushed forward the hub basics and objectives that you had to go and run and do. And Quake 3, simultaneously alongside Unreal Tournament, created the online shooter genre. So Quake built the foundation, and while not being as well a known name, for those in like the shooter genre, right? For those of us who play first-person shooters, Quake is still a very viable series of games. Doom is just more well-known. Doom is Mickey Mouse. Doom is Superman.
Yeah, that was my
Quake
argument.
is the Incredible
It wasn't
Hulk.
that it wasn't.
Here's my thoughts. I'm going to jump in real quick. I think that they could absolutely do a Quake reboot, but they would have to go kind of crazy with the marketing. Like, they would have to really shove down your throat. Like, hey, original Quake, kind of a big deal for the industry. And we're making a new one.
I think they'd also they'd also have to cut the budget in half, because it's just not going to sell the way that something with more IP recognition would. I mean, Quake, absolutely is legendary and still important, and it still has recognizability and a fan base. But I don't think that you could give it the same budget that you could give a Doom.
I think the other important thing is that no, shut up. I think that the other important thing that we need to consider is that a lot of the staying power that Quake had on the closest to mainstream was as a competitive PvP game. And if you bring that back, you could do it. You can make a single player Quake game, but people are going to be confused because some people only know that Quake. They only know Quake through Quake 3, Quake Live, and
so
Quake
so what you're both saying, though, what you're both saying is that Mayo, you're saying that it should receive a Painkiller reboot level of budget, and Trav, you're saying that it should receive a Painkiller reboot type of game. Is that what I'm hearing?
Perchance.
I think my argument...
More like, how about this? This is better. A Shadow Warrior 3 type.
Yeah. Give me a Quake like
Shadow
that.
Warrior 3. Isn't Shadow Warrior 3 just Doom Eternal?
A little bit, but
from what
it's
I've
still
seen,
really fun.
It does differentiate quite a bit, but yes, it is very similar.
I mean, thematically, yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Different video.
I'm very surprised that the Doom Eternal clones didn't last as long as the original Doom clone era did. I thought that it would really change things.
Strike the same iron.
Well,
I mean, Shadow Warrior has more of an identity crisis than Doom does at this point. If you go back to the original, and then the reboot, and then 2, and then 3.
Is no one playing Metal Eden? Like it's like that.
No,
the game is
so
straight up Doom Eternal.
He-Man's video on it.
Yeah.
It is so Doom Eternal. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
Metal Eden
Yes.
has
I
really
never
knocked
thought
it out of
that
the park.
though. I thought Deadlink when I saw the combat
Absolutely.
in Metal Eden.
Well, yeah,
I thought
Deadlink. is-
Yeah.
Hey, Mayo, you can't talk. You're biased.
Ah, I don't need this
Guys,
shit.
David Szymanski's question is: do you think Doom 3 is a good Doom game? Starting with Ruby Ranger.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's in my. I would put Resurrection of Evil just above it, but Doom 3 is a great Doom game.
Yeah. Okay. Why? Expand.
Because for me it goes back to the basics of what the original Doom for me was, which was a horror game. The atmosphere is second to none. It takes its time building up, but in a way that it makes the impact of the Hell Invasion feel more real. Like, this is the first time where every other Doom game were just dropped in the middle of the invasion. The Hell Incursion has happened. This is the only game where we literally get to see it happen, and having that experience makes the goings on that much more horrific, I feel.
Yeah, they turned it into Half-Life.
Yeah, or like, yeah, they learned their lessons. They learned the lessons from Half-Life. I think the game feel is really good. I think the level design is really good. I wish the final boss had been better. I think it's a really good Doom game, and like, I'm also the guy who prefers Doom 64. I think Doom 64 is my second favorite Doom game. Yeah, the real Doom 3. But it's slower paced, it's intentional, and it's methodical. I don't believe that Doom has to be Fast and Furious run and gun to be a good Doom game. You could, like, Dark Ages is very different from Doom Eternal. They're both good Doom games. If the game itself does what it set out to do very well, which I feel Doom 3 does, then yeah. And it's got everything, all of the hallmarks of Doom, and it succeeds.
Nice. Hyacsho, what's your take?
Yeah, I think yes. You know, at the end of the day, I was trying to sit there and think, nah, it doesn't, right? Because could you see this game in a vacuum and give it another name, and could it still be Doom? And then I think to some part you could say that a lot, especially the earlier levels, it's a generic sci-fi action adventure of that era, you know, where everything had to be a bit more grounded, a bit more realistic, a bit darker. Everyone was very jaded, everyone was going through their emo phase and that kind of thing. But now that I think of, even if I had to take a screenshot of Doom from the Doom 3, from the earlier parts of the game or the later parts of the game, it is actually quite unique even for its time. And even now today, I guess. So, yeah, Doom 3 tried to do something different. It tried to focus on the horror things. We know this, like, I can fucking say this. Everyone knows this shit. But, yeah, do I think it was a good Doom game? I do. Do I think it was maybe a Doom game I would have liked to see? At the time I was playing it, I thought it was the best Doom game I had ever seen. And then Doom 2016 came out, and I was like, oh, I see now. But for me, Doom 3 was, yeah. But for me, Doom 3 was and is a really good Doom game. I still love it. I still enjoy it. Today, I think all the weapons all feel very, besides maybe the plasma, which is most unique, I feel it all very, I don't know how to describe this feeling. But that none of them feel very powerful or expressive, in my opinion, too much. Like, they feel very empty. I don't know I'll come up with a better word than that. But yeah, do I think Doom 3 is a good Doom game? Yeah, definitely. I do. I don't care what anyone else says. Fuck you.
Yeah, I think it's a good Doom game. It's got things in it that I don't particularly care for, but I think Doom is a very flexible franchise. I think a lot of things can be Doom, and I don't know. You're running around a Mars base, and there's demons there, and you've got the Doom arsenal, and there's a kick-ass menu theme, and it's kind of like there's. I think, like, if you get that, then you've got a good Doom game, and then from there you can do your own thing.
Yeah. For the longest time, I always got confused with the Quake 2 music and the Doom 3 music when I was younger. But Trav, Yeah, Trav, what about you?
I have some baggage with this one because I said on my channel multiple times many years ago before Eternal came out, like, yeah, I don't think Doom 3 is a good Doom game. I've grown up. I'm sorry. Public apology. But I've come around on it. And I think that, yeah, it still feels like Doom. You're still circle strafing around enemies. The enemies aren't as spongy. It doesn't quite feel like Doom at times, but it's still fun. And it does capture a lot of what made the original Dooms fun, in that exploring, finding secrets. You're often backtracking through a lot of the same rooms, a lot of the same areas that open up new doors once you get keys, except this time they're PDAs because PDAs are the future. And it has a lot of that supplementary stuff, like, oh, you can find key codes, you can find number pads, which makes it feel a bit closer to like a System Shock than a Doom at times. But I think that it was a welcome addition. I wish the game had a bit more staying power for my brain, because after I play it, I'm just like, yeah, I'm kind of done with this. I don't really want to keep playing it, which I don't feel with other Doom games. But I think that it does everything that it needed to do, wrapping it back around to the Doom 3 shotgun. Like, I think that it did what it tried to do, and it did it well. And I don't think it's a bad game by any means. It's not my favorite, but it's a Doom game through and through.
You know, we never ask each other these questions. Deadforge, what's your opinion?
Is Doom 3 a good Doom game? Yeah, I think so. I think Doom 3 is a good Doom game, because, you know, it starts off kind of feeling like he said, like, well, somebody said, I don't know who said it, but it felt kind of like System Shock. At times, it was Trav, okay. So yeah, like it kind of, know, that System Shock or more, linear horror shooter kind of thing at times, which for me added a cool, like, interesting, just interactive element, because I'm all about, I like animations and just interacting with the little touch screens and stuff. I just think is entertaining. But the further you get in the game, the more open it becomes, and the more frantic and fast paced and more about the booming and shooting it becomes. It becomes a little bit less slow, and it becomes pretty intense as time goes on. Once you get to like hell and stuff like that, it just really goes like kind of crazy. So I think overall, it's definitely a pretty good Doom game.
Nice. Yeah. Medium. Finally, yourself.
Yeah. I think my answer kind of encapsulates a lot of the things we touched on. For the same reason that Eternal works as a Doom game, despite being quakey. It's just a matter of emphasis. I think it's not playing outside of the sandbox to me at all. I mean, you've got the lights flickering in the original Doom. You've got the roars you can hear down the hallways and all these kinds of things. It's just, to me, the flexibility of Doom is what makes it more enduring on average. Not just me personally, but I think it's one reason why it probably kind of leapfrogs Quake and stays ahead. Like, Quake does all these things. It's not really like Quake's at fault or anything. It's just either because it's been leaned into a lot more. Just because I think the hook also works a lot better, and that's why Doom 3 works as a Doom game. Is because the hook is still killing demons with cool sci-fi weapons. It's still, we can all say it's a different speed. It's a different level of satisfaction. I think it's pretty obvious. We should at least agree on that it's not just like every other Doom game that exists. That's why I think it's special in that regard, but it is still the essentials. It's still the slightly scary, just like the first game was. It may be slower paced, it may be of its era, but I think it absolutely works in the same way that Eternal works. It's just, lean into it here, pitch into that, and have fun with that. And then, we can always, like, what are we losing by just having really cool, hyper-specific versions of the fantasy of the hook? So, yeah. Works for me.
Nice. Just as we have, the previous guest question, now is your opportunity to ask our next guest question. So we have two people on. So we have Technoplasm developer Mothership Loudspeakers is returning to the show, and we've got Slim back on. Well, 99% Slim. So it's still to be confirmed.
Who's the other one? I'm sorry, you cut out for some reason.
That was really cool sounding. I hope that came through for you. You were like, and then we got...
It really didn't sound like that.
Yeah.
Who was it? It's Lembretsky.
Zlimbratsky and Technoplasm developer Mothership Loudspeakers are joining us for the next show. So, does anyone have... I don't want to say, yeah, you give a question, you give a question. Just open to the floor. Does anyone have any questions they would like to put to them?
How on earth do you manage your time well enough to support the output that you have? His output is insane.
It is.
And
I already
I
know
look
the
at-
Be
answer.
a dad of 3.
Like, he's a
Yeah.
father, and he's a husband, and
And
you know,
he has
I'm
a
guessing
full-time job.
he has a full-time job still too.
He does,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
know.
thought at this point he had to be doing all of this and that
Yeah.
was it. This had to be Jesus Christ. Like I fight for time. And so my question, I guess, to Slim is, how do you manage your time in order to be able to do what you do as much as you do?
I
Yeah,
couldn't
I'm
write
going to
down.
echo that one hard.
I couldn't write down exactly that. I've got how do you manage your time to get the workload done. Is that
Done.
good?
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's it.
Fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
Probably
Fun.
the
I mean-
best possible question to ask him.
Yeah.
already
I was
know
going to
the
ask
answer
him,
'cause I
like,
asked
does
him,
being a
2 days
father
ago.
affect the games that you choose?
Ooh. Trav.
That's a good one.
Does being a father...
That's
I
a
don't know enough about Vibrant Green
Okay.
Guy.
Motion
uh,
Loudspeakers, the
I know he
Technofighter.
follows
He
me.
also did another game called... Oh shit, what was it called? Oh,
Ghostware.
Ghostwire.
Ghost... I keep going to
Ghostwire.
call
Yeah,
it Ghost in the
Ghostwire.
Shell. Hopefully I don't do that during the
Is
episode.
Ghostware?
Ghostware,
Ghostware,
I
yes.
guess.
Like
Yeah.
hardware, software,
Yeah.
Ghostware.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
How do I know if I'm really in love?
What the fuck?
be a nice one.
That's a beautiful question, man.
What the
Give him back his aspirin.
If I'm
Yeah, we can have it.
You can have it back. You've been a good boy.
Thank
How
you.
does Mayo know if he's...
No, it's not about
in-
me
How does
specifically.
Mayo know?
How does anybody know if they're in love?
You know what's great? You know what's great about Mayo's face reveal in this podcast is that I always pictured Mayo as like the robot from RoboCop 2, like that other RoboCop. Yeah. And now his literal picture is of a machine,
People...
and it's just like, yeah, no, that fits. That
Yeah.
fits.
People said something similar. You know, we had Racevic on a while ago, like I don't know, a month and a half or something. It was the first time he'd ever shown his face, and he's been a YouTuber for a fucking
Second time.
decade.
Second.
Really?
Everyone was like, oh my god, he's so handsome, he looks so young and stuff like that. I thought that, like Mayo, I was going to have to use like some sort of animated, thing to show his face. And then he turned up on the camera. I'm like, who the fuck is this kid? I'm like, holy shit, it's Racevic. I had no idea he was so young and stuff. But I
But it's like
appreciate...
Kirk connects, right?
Yeah.
I've never seen Kirk's face, and then he comes online. I'm like, holy shit, hey bro, you got a
G-Man,
face.
G-Man as
amazing.
well. I thought G-Man would
Well,
just
G-Man,
show
yeah.
up.
I do think Quake has the ability to get a
Bro is
large
still on
budget
this.
title. I do think. I feel like the remasters that we've gotten recently from Night Dive is testing the waters to see how viable that would be as an option. And let's face it, when Machine Games made Wolfenstein, the New Order back in the day, no one was fucking clamoring for a new fucking Wolfenstein back then. But they
totally
did it.
Agree.
They did it
Yeah.
well. They were given the space to do it, and it proved that these games are viable.
Yeah.
So whether or not we will actually get one, I can't actually say. I want there to be, and I feel like the space is there for it. I feel like Quake Champions failed because it didn't give Quake fans what they actually wanted, which was more Quake. Like, we got Overwatch with Quake skins, and it's not fun.
It took
I'll
like
play it because
4
it's Quake.
years for them to add like no abilities, everyone's on the same level deathmatch.
So much, and we can blame Tim Willits for all of that. But
Shout out,
all-
Tim.
That said, I do think Quake could sustainably come out with a new big budget shooter in the series. I think I've seen and heard so many people who just want a Doom 2016 style Quake reboot. I think it's there. Whether or not it will actually
I mean, yeah.
move forward and do that, whether Bethesda feels like they can do that or not, I don't know if we ever actually will. Is the want there just from strictly the perspective of someone who likes Quake and interacts with other people and sees even people who don't necessarily identify as Quake fans? I think it's there. And I think that Bethesda would be missing out on a large audience by not making it.
Yeah, I think also it being a Game Pass thing may be work in its favor too if they do revive it, because it has the
Yeah.
ability to be made something smaller that doesn't necessarily have to have this like, huge boulder heave where it's like, well, it's either this or it's not. It's got to be Doom 2016. It's got to be AAA in every
Mhm, mhm.
regard. It can't have any like pitch down, up or down here and there. I think you.
Yeah, it's
I
got that
think you can-
built-in
you
Game
can have
Pass
all that
audience.
to make the pitch good enough. Basically,
Yeah.
it's not that it should stay any more than like Alone in the Dark should not be forgotten entirely just because Resident Evil took all the spots ahead of it or something. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to
I
stay
don't know what
there,
the
just
chances
make
are,
something
but
good.
I feel like Machine Games should make the next Quake game.
They've got a great
And
tracker.
I say that.
Trackered?
Yeah,
Track-
I was saying.
Ah,
track
I-
record.
I think
got it.
Avalanche.
Tracker.
Well, you know,
Avalanche.
yeah, they did all of those. They did all of those extra levels and episodes and stuff for Quake, Quake
They have a good
2, and
understanding
Doom, and
of
Doom
Quake,
2,
Absolutely.
and yeah. Did they do stuff for the Hexen and Heretic thing as well?
No, just
Raven.
Night Dive did.
No,
Yeah, no,
that's
no.
Night Dive.
Just Night Dive on that one?
Yeah.
Okay. Because they've done all that stuff, and like they did really good with a lot of the connective tissue between Doom and Quake, and kind of alleviating that
Quake 1 and Quake 2.
mystery there.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, and so
They don't even need a huge budget.
I think they would be good.
Mayo said that as well. They don't need a real huge budget to get something out there, get a cool product going. It doesn't need to break the bank. It can be
Mhm.
small development team, see what's up. And if it's a success, boom, more beyond sequel. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
just
honestly-
Singles to think there.
Honestly,
give it
I
to the
thought Machine Games
B
work.
team,
Yeah.
give them a
I
Shadow
thought
Warrior
Machine
budget,
Games,
and where you go.
Machine Games work with Indiana Jones was a great testing of the waters. Like, can we have these guys literally do anything and have it make money? No one was asking for a new
Yeah.
Indiana Jones game, and like, I'm a
Yeah.
huge fucking Indiana Jones super
very
fan,
good.
and I was like, I don't know about this, and I was like, okay, cool, yeah, this was fucking good. And if they can knock that out of the park with an IP that didn't really have a fan base asking for something, then oh yeah, they could kill it with Quake.
I think
So-
the potential is there.
Yeah, it is, but they won't know until they actually release a game. And of course, the original Wolfenstein reboots, they're not super budget games either. But yet they were well made, and they, the budgets got bigger
Mhm.
because they proved themselves.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone for watching the Quad Damage podcast, and thank you all of our guests for joining us: Trav, Hyacsho, Ruby Ranger, Under the Mayo. And if you want to check any of us out, where can we find us? I'll start with Trav.
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube at youtube.com/@ThatTravGuy. Find me on Twitter at @TheOtherTravGuy because ThatTravGuy was taken, and I think I'm on Blue Sky too as just ThatTravGuy. I haven't posted in a while, but I'm alive. I'm back. I'm happy. I'm in a good spot. Videos are coming soon.
Hell yeah.
All right, Mayo.
As always, Under the Mayo on Twitch and YouTube. I am streaming a bit more these days. Got some videos coming out this month. Working on a big Resident Evil 3 video, and everyone go wishlist Rising Heat on Steam. It comes out October 14th, and I'm like one of the I'm essentially game systems advisor on it, which has been a pleasure to work on.
Sell
that
it to
game.
me in 3 words.
Cool.
In 3 words.
Big
Wing
Dick
stick
Life.
awesomeness.
Yeah.
Cool. Good.
Sold.
Sold. All right.
I'm already
All
downloading
right, Ruby.
the demo.
You can find me on YouTube at Ruby Ranger with an extra R on the end, so it's Ruby Ranger. Also,
Yeah.
same on Twitter, same on Blue Sky. I think it's just one R on Blue Sky because Ruby Ranger wasn't taken at that point. I'm about to publish the 4th and final episode of my Daikatana documentary series. That's coming out next week. I also have a documentary on the making of Incision, which I'm hoping to have finished by the end of the month. And then I'm going to be moving into making some excellent spooky month content for October. Keep an eye out for my video on the horror of Quake 4. I'm actually doing a collab with Elephants Doing Crack. We're doing a big celebration of Quake 4 because it's the
Love that
20th
guy.
anniversary.
Very cool.
When he means
Did
a
you ever
person,
find the elephant that
not a
does
bunch
crack?
of elephants doing crack.
No, one person who identifies as multiple elephants doing crack all at the same time.
Who do crack? Yes.
Who do crack?
Great guy. Go check him out.
Demonetized.
Yeah, he's a fun time. All right, Hyacsho.
Well, I'm Hyacsho. You can find me anywhere at Hyacsho, but mostly YouTube and Twitch. I'm finally coming back from a break, which means that I'll produce one more video this year at some stage. But I do stream every Saturday and Friday, which is pretty cool. So if anyone hears this and wants to hang out, you're more than welcome.
Hyacsho.
Hyacsho.
You should
All
have
right,
something.
and, shut the fuck up, Robert. Shut the fuck up. No, I'm just kidding.
You should do
Robert,
something.
come on.
You should do something and call it the Hyak Show.
You know what? You know what, Rob? That never occurred to me. That never occurred to me until
What?
now. Like you
Just put a W at the end of it.
That's like revolutionary on that moment.
Yeah. That's good. That's your new podcast name right there. The Hyacsho.
We have to do indie inbox on
All right,
Saturday.
Medium, where can we
I
find
get
you?
a whole bunch of indie games to play.
Twitter and YouTube, Midnight Medium. Just kidding. A Midnight Medium on Twitter. And we're about to do a lot of horror stuff. We're doing like the survival horror from like 1973 all the way up to like Clock Tower.
Ooh.
Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. D the Game. Dr. Hauser. Weird shit like that. Some Dying Light next week. So yeah. It's gonna be a marathon.
Nice.
All right. Trav, did you have something to say real quick?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
I picked my hand up because I thought we were gonna wave goodbye, or I thought we were saying goodbye, so we're gonna wave.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, you can find me at Lord of the RPG on Twitter /X, whatever you want to call it. Deadforge on Patreon, Deadforge on YouTube. That's pretty much that. I've got since kind of shouting out what we're doing. I've got a Cyberpunk video out next week, and in the next couple weeks, I have 2 Dying Light videos coming out, and after that, all kinds of fun stuff. Now we'll go on to Robert, where we can find you and where we can find Quad Damage as a whole.
Well, obviously you're watching us on YouTube if you're a viewer right now, but you can find us at the Quad Dam Podcast on both x.com and Blue Sky, and on Reddit at the Quad Damage Podcast. I'm going to try and redesign our merchandise. Please join our memberships, which will be relaunching sometime soon, and I'll be including, call to actions and stuff like that. But Mayo, have you done yourself?
Yeah.
You have?
I do every night.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Keep that
And
heart
at that moment, we zoom into Trav's face. As soon as he says it, we zoom into Trav's face, staring right into the camera, and we just cut it off, and then we kind of like do a little skip, and we come back and we end it. Yeah. Keep on booming.
Keep on moving.